Hi, this is Mina. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show you how I make vegan vodka sauce. So I'm going to use rigatoni noodles. I'm going to bring a pot that's about 3/4 full of water to boil, so I'll turn that on high. I've got rigatoni pasta ready to go. You don't really need to roast your own tomatoes for this. You can use a couple of cans of diced tomatoes, a can of diced tomatoes, and a can of sauce. You combine whatever tomatoes you happen to have in stock, it'll turn out great. Just trust me on that. But I happen to have these cherry tomatoes on my counter that I had no intentions of doing anything else with. So I thought, why not put a little olive oil, salt, and pepper and roast them? How much? Like less than a teaspoon of olive oil, however much you want. It doesn't need a lot. And then I used my pepper milk, but because they're so noisy, I did it on my own time. And my salt milk. And same thing, about a half a teaspoon of each of those. It's to your taste. You know how much seasoning do you want? I like that, you can't even see any oil. If I were to tilt the pan over, there is no visible oil. It's just that the tomatoes can move around and the seasoning is evenly distributed across them. So I'm just gonna roast them. I already had my oven at 375, so that's fine. I'll just put them in there so they can get cooking. I want 1 cup total of cashews. I'm using that instead of any kind of cream. And I'm gonna put some hot water over it and just let those soak. So they'll soak as long as it takes. I know it's gonna be several minutes before I'm ready to get those cashews. So I feel like cooking's so easy. I feel like it's fun. It's like, what do you have in your fridge and what can you make out of it? What do you have in your pantry? What can you do with it? I was going to go to Costco today. I'm happy to report it's been over a week. It's kind of like a challenge for me. Do you really need to go there today, or can you just make do with your 2 pantries, refrigerators, and freezers full of food and figure something out? This is super basic, right? It's just pasta with a sauce that I'm gonna whip up. And I'm just gonna use this whole onion in there. So I feel like that was pretty fast. I could have had this going. So I have 4 garlic here. I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna put the onion in first because I feel like that takes a little longer to cook. Here we go, let's put them in. So while those are starting to heat up, I'm gonna add the garlic like right on top of the onion. This way it's not catching the heat just yet. When I turn it over, it will. Because garlic is not going to take as long as the onion to cook. I could also turn my heat down, but I got places to go. So I just want to try to get some dinner ready for my family so they don't order out tonight. There's so much food here, but their favorite line is, there's nothing to eat. There's always something to eat. You just need to do a little something to it. It's a Sunday. I can make as much noise as I want in the kitchen. I like when the cans are, have this pull tab. That's easy. I'm gonna put the tomato paste in first. I'm using this spatula to scoop out the tomato paste from this can. And then it's really thick. So I'm gonna kind of press it down. The heat's gonna help melt it down. And I'm going to add some liquid to that, and that's going to help as well. I am going to add the vodka now. So my pan is super hot. I've got some Tito's here, and you're probably going to want to know how much. Let's just do a half a cup. I would never measure this, but and then I'm like, ooh, there's just a little bit left. I'm like using a little self-control here to not get rid of that bottle. I'm going to add other tomatoes in there. Stir those up. A bit. I'll just give them a quick shake. Move them around a little bit. They look good. You see like the skin is breaking open on them, so that's good. This still, okay, it came to a boil. I'm gonna salt my water. I'm gonna now add the pasta. Let that cook for about 8 minutes or till what I think is al dente. And I think I'm gonna be ready to blend up my cashews. So I'll drain them. I turned it on already. This is my 1 cup of soaked. I soaked them in boiling hot water, so they should blend nicely. Let's see. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of water. So a lot of times recipes will tell you to let your cashews soak overnight. And then I think if you let them soak for like 10 minutes, it's usually good. But I'm just adding some water. In case I rush that process along, I've got hot water. 1 second while I turn this high. And that's good. So I made like a cashew cream that I'm gonna add to my sauce. I can see that my sauce is getting stuck a little bit. It's not burning, it's just sticking to the pan. So I can just show you. Let's deglaze it. You knew I wanted to use this. It's like a 1/4 cup. There, done with that vodka. I feel good about that, like we're cleaning house here. I'm gonna stir that up. Let's add some garlic powder, because I think that'll be good. Let's add a few shakes of red pepper, because I think a nice arrabbiata style to this will be nice. About a 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I never tell you, so sorry, I'll get the hang of that. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper, about a 1/2 teaspoon of basil. If I had fresh basil, I would use that and chop it up and put it in when it's done, but this is dried, so I'll put it in now. And then salt and pepper, I'll try to do a 1/2 teaspoon. Why not let them both go at the same time, right? But it's making me work for that 1/2 teaspoon. So that's it. You can add as much salt or pepper as your taste buds call for. I think that's gonna be good. I'm not gonna add any sweetener. I am gonna add this cashew cream. A cup. And I'm just gonna clean my machine with it and then pour it in there. So this is gonna help me get out the rest of that cashew cream. Shake it around. Just try to get all that. So that's about a cup of water. And I'll add that in there for my sauce. And I'm working it in there. And I'll just spoon it out so you can see. And that's my sauce. I can tell that this pasta needs a little more time. I don't even have to taste it. I can just, it's as though I hear the noodles clinking to the sides of the pan. They're not, but that's all right. I'm so happy we get to use our Vitamix again. Let's get those roasted tomatoes out and blend them. So I think I started to say that I use diced tomatoes. I could have always blended those too, so if you didn't want those chunks of tomato in there, you can blend them out first. You can just use a can of tomato sauce instead, and then this would totally be smooth. Just going with what I got. So here's my roasted tomato. And in a matter of minutes, those are done. Okay, so those already had a little bit of seasoning. Let's blend. And now I have my tomato sauce with fresh roasted tomatoes. Let's put that in there. There we go. 1 cup in there. A 1/2 cup. 1 cup. And then I'm going to use that to get the rest of the sauce out of here and then just give my actual vodka sauce a little more. twofold, cleaning out my blender and giving my sauce a little more liquid because it's kind of thick. So the pan is liking that. That becomes my deglazing. I definitely think this pasta is ready to go. Okay, that's my vodka sauce. I'm gonna lower that. I'm gonna try it. So in case, for some reason, this tastes bad, they can just put some butter, vegan butter, and call that a day. Look at, this is my teeny tiny taste portion. So I'm gonna mix it up. So if I had fresh basil, I would chop up fresh basil and put it on that now and stir it around. Oh my gosh, it would just be the best compliment to this. But listen, I'm not gonna complain about this because this looks incredible. The sauce is just sticking to it. Did you ever make a sauce or maybe buy one and it's so like drippy and runny? I love this because it's getting stuck to the noodle. Like the sauce is coming with you. There's nothing left to say besides unbelievable. I'm not just saying that, but I would love freshly grated Parmesan cheese on this. But it's not missing a thing. Those cashews almost give it a cheesy quality to it. Vegans can put nutritional yeast on it. This is amazing just like it is. I'm not kidding. Perfect. Thanks for watching. This is Mina. I'll see you next time.